Welcome back, Anteater fans. We're here with the season preview for women's soccer, the 2026 season approaching. Here with head coach Scott Juniper, here for his 20th year with the program. Welcome and nice to have you once again.
Thank you.
The Anteaters have had a lot of success under your tenure, the winningest coach in program history. Back again for the 2026 season. And I think the coaching staff is one of those. PJ Woolridge, been here for now, I think 13 seasons, and a new face on the goalkeeping, the assistant coaching staff, Wendy Espahel. Talk about where you see the program at right now, entering your 20th year here, and what the coaches bring to what you're doing.
Yeah, it's been a great preseason so far. We've got this really nice blend. Having worked with PJ so closely for 13 years, we've gone through a lot together. We've won a lot of games together. We've figured out why we've lost games together. It's almost, we're very different personalities. We share a lot of the same philosophies about the game and the way we run the program. So there's a lot of alignment there. We can almost finish each other's sentences sometimes. But what I like about working with PJ is that he's always open to trying something new. Let's make sure that 10, 20% of what we do is more innovative, and it's things that we've never tried before, and it's things that we can borrow from different teams and leagues and experiences that we've both had. And of course, we're missing our third musketeer, Danielle, who obviously played for us. She's been around for a huge amount of my career. So happy for her to get an opportunity to progress and step into a new world in her new coaching career up at UCLA. I think that's a good reflection on our program, that UCLA want to recruit a member of our coaching staff. So as hard as that is, I think we can be really happy for her, excited for her new season. What that also does, it opens up an opportunity for us to bring in fresh ideas and a new personality in that spot. Very, very happy that we're able to get Wendy Espahel to join the staff. She brings us so much experience as a head coach, which is really cool. And then some really, really, really interesting experience she's got right now working with the under-20 Mexico team that are preparing for a World Cup. So she's been great. She's added new ideas in a lot of different areas, and I think the program is benefiting from just having a new outlook, and it's been helpful. Really good.
Talk about that. It's obviously very, very exciting for any one in our program, whether it's a coach or player, to be involved internationally in a tournament with a nation or something like that. Talk about what it means to you, what it means to the program to have somebody in that position.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Honestly, we've all just come out of a massive summer experiencing a FIFA World Cup, one of the biggest sporting events in history.
Right.
So FIFA and a World Cup, whatever age group, is a really, really significant event. To be a part of that is hugely exciting for Wendy. We talked about it in the hiring process. She was very early on. She's like, just so you know, I've got this commitment. Almost as if that doesn't work for you, Scott, then but for me, it's a massive positive for us. For anyone connected with our soccer family, to be involved in a FIFA World Cup is really exciting. And it's a really big achievement for Wendy. She's an assistant coach. With us, she's got goalkeeper responsibilities, but she's not the goalkeeper coach with Mexico. She's one of the assistants with a lot of responsibilities, which means that she sees the game in lots of different ways. So I think it reflects really, really well on Wendy and her achievements, and was a big reason why we wanted to make sure that she came and joined our coaching staff. But I think now we get to reflect in that a little bit. And we've got an Anteater in the World Cup.
The returning class for the Anteaters, it's there's a lot to build off of from last year. We had the fifth lowest goals against average in the nation last year. Only allowed 3.4 shots on goal per game. Says something about the defense, and a lot of that coming back in the 3 of the 10 all Big West players that were last year. We had Haley Klingen, minutes leaders, back on that defense, also a team captain. Clara Sampson, another all Big West member, and a freshman member, Fiona Shin. Those 3 part of the bigger picture, but a lot to look forward to from the class that's returning to this Anteater program.
the statistic that being in the top five best defending teams in the nation. Obviously, everyone's got a different schedule, and we play different teams. But I think that really underscores the work that we've put in as a program, and it's the defensive side of the game. But everything we do is a collective. So that's the 11 players on the field. We don't just credit the back line and the goalkeeper. It really is the way that we work. If you ever see us play, there are 11 players that are fully committed to that. And that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a really special type of recruit that can come in and absorb that sort of part of the game. So we're really excited about that. You mentioned Haley Klingon, and she's coming back as one of. It's so fast how she goes from a brand new. I remember her first games as a player that would just go in for as a backup really for Kira Smingi. That was where she started, and now she's never off the field. So important for our team back there. And now her experience is influencing these younger players that are playing alongside her, and she's flourishing in that role. So really excited for her. So yeah, the defensive side of the game is going to be really important. That's definitely part of our DNA. And one thing we gotta work on is making sure we improve our numbers at the other end of the field. We've got to be a little bit more cutting edge. We're going to be able to do that by growing the players that we have in the program, and we've affected that a lot through recruiting as well. We've got some really exciting players coming in that are going to impact that end of the field, and I think we're going to see a team that's got a lot of balance. We're going to be able to continue to be rock solid defensively, but really exciting going forward.
Obviously, the strong core that's returning, but that's only 15 of the 32 players. You've got 17 newcomers coming in, some from four-year schools, a lot of freshmen. You've got some out-of-state ties. You have a pair from Nevada, including the Gatorade Player of the Year from that state, a pair from Washington, a group that's been together in Southern California. And so it's a lot of different exciting skill sets and mindsets and soccer mentalities, and how do you see that coming in with such a large class, probably being called upon to get some early minutes and affect games early on?
Yeah, it's a big class. What I remind all of them is that they're all here for a reason. They all had a different pathway to get to our locker room and be a part of what we're doing. But that's a huge process for us. We're out watching thousands of players. So we're selecting players that can fit our DNA and what we're trying to do, not just technically, but we're looking for those character profiles that can do what we like to do. Then they have to visit and they have to experience what we're about, and they see what we're about. We're very authentic when they come and visit. So people buy into that. They're only here because they see everything that we're about. They see the way we work. They see the way we train. They see the way we play. They get to know the staff, and that's what fits for them. Had the conversation with one of the new players today, chatting with Bella Merrick, and she was talking about how quickly she's become friends with her classmates, and how she feels like it's so weird. It's like such a great fit, and I explained the same thing to her. Best example a few years ago is when we brought in a player from India, from Egypt, from the Netherlands, and I remember them sat in an airport with Lily Rask, who's from Orange County, and the four of them were like telling stories about their own childhoods, and the amount of overlap was unbelievable. So they arrive from different corners of the planet in the locker room, and if we've done our job properly recruiting, they'll connect very, very quickly. They're all very, very different personalities. They've got different interests, but those core aspects that bring them together and get behind the same mission of representing UC Irvine women's soccer is the same, and it's really fun. So there's a lot of new players, but they're like so similar in all those ways. So practice has been easy. They've all got behind the way we want to train. The preparation has been really good, and I'm excited. They're already super tight. And sometimes when you get a big group, it's easier. There's just such a huge number. Practice is you can just see the eyes. The eyes are wide, and the ears are big, if you know what I mean. And they're just absorbing everything really, really fast because we know we have to.
The program, we talk about the stability and how everything, the winning and the coaching staff and a lot of the core pieces of UCI have been here through and through. There's a lot of instability in college soccer, even more so now, the transfer portal and student athletes switching allegiances all the time. But we've seen kind of an influx of that and a positive for the Anteaters. Obviously this year, the crew of Mimi Dominguez, Mimi Yamamoto, Una Hartman, Sarah Paul, the 4-year transfers coming in. Still Ariane Hazeman Bowler from last year, but historically back to Natalia Ledesma, Rima Bazia, Ashley Naylor, Lily Rask. Trying to think of, there's so many out there that I feel like I'm missing, but they've all played such an integral part in the success, from winning titles to, beating big opponents. Talk about that and how that works into your philosophy and how the program's been so successful.
Yeah, I mean, I'd throw in Coco Goodson, Rachel Wood. We could go on. There's a lot. There's a lot. We've definitely had a net positive transfers in versus the players that have decided to move on. I think that's. I think I'm happy that underlines a little bit about our culture. It's not easy for people to move away from here, but again, with those players have come from programs like Texas, Oregon,
and we didn't mention
Arizona
Tati
State,
Fung as well. Recently.
Yeah, Tati more recently from Texas, and it's really interesting. They don't. My memory doesn't categorize them as transfers now. They're UC Irvine family, right? So I have to dig a little bit in my memory just to remember. Oh yeah, that's right. Natalia, she was at UCLA. Coco, Tati at Texas before coming here. So it's been really nice for us to see players that have gone off to very traditional big football schools and have that experience and learn and grow, but also realize that that's not what it's all about necessarily. And for them to then choose a new pathway and find a home at UC Irvine, this is a very unique place, and it offers a very unique set of experiences. And all the players that we've talked about there have had incredible experiences, and I'm in touch with them. A lot of them, Rachel and Coco, were commenting on our post just recently. So they follow the program. Lily is always in touch. So they're all staying in touch with the program. I know Tati was out practicing with us very, very recently. But the newest crop, Ari is going to have an exceptional season. Really excited for her. She came from Oregon last year. She'll be in her second year with us, and I think she's ready to really give people some problems. Una was brand new for us January, I think.
Yeah.
And she had a great training session today. When she gets the ball in 1v1 situations, our eyes light up. And I just keep reminding her, you got the green light. Every time you find that situation, green light. Go and have some fun with the ball. And so I think she's thriving. And then the three that are most recent, I think Sarah Paul, from a goalkeeper from Bakersfield. We needed to add a goalkeeper, and she's super talented. She's going to push for some consideration to get on the pitch very quickly. In the middle of the midfield, we needed to add somebody in that middle of the midfield that could start immediately, and they're not easy to find. Mimi Yamamoto has an opportunity to step in immediately and play in front of our back four and be able to put pressure on the ball and help us win the ball back and maintain that defensive presence, but she's exceptional with the ball. She's able to move the ball. She's able to connect both wings with her technical ability and passing ability, but she's also a very good progressive passer, which means she can connect us through the phases. And she scored a couple goals today. So she has the ability to break the other team's 18-yard box. So she's going to be a real key player for us, I think. Really excited to have her. And then the other Mimi, we haven't figured out how we haven't figured out what we call. One of them's got to change their name on the pitch. We're not sure which one. So they're still Mimi and Mimi. Mimi Dominguez, uniquely a transfer from Kentucky, but has already got a really big year of experience in our conference when she was at UC Riverside. I was hoping she was going to come here when she transferred the first time, but she chose to have that big experience going out to a long way from home to Kentucky. I think she had a good experience, but it wasn't sustainable, and she's looking for a new opportunity. And I don't think she talked to many schools. I think we'd already had a really good conversation 12 months prior. Couldn't be happier that she's here. She plays the game in a different way. She's going to get goals. She's going to create problems, and she plays in a different way. So, yeah, the current crop of transfers, And when they transfer here, it's an easy integration for us. Again, the stability means that it doesn't matter this changing environment in college soccer, the chaos of the transfer windows, the transfer portal, and all the new rules that are coming in. We have a DNA, and we know what that is. We've got a lot of stability, and the new players come in, and if they're ready to work hard, they're going to have a good experience.
And you talk about the mentality at practice. You guys have already been on the pitch for a couple weeks now, installing what those core tendencies are. Talk about what you're seeing as the team that's going to be out there. What's the maybe it's the physical, the cognitive side of it. What's the focus of the program heading into 2026?
We are going to have a really good balance. We've got some great athletes who have prepared themselves physically, that are going to be able to play a high intensity game, a game that's fast. We're going to be good in transition. We're going to lean into high pressing our opponents, and that takes a lot of preparation. But I think the biggest thing that will differentiate this team, and we're hoping to change games, is we're developing players that can make decisions on the pitch as best as we can, to give responsibility to the players that are on the pitch. We're not going to be guiding every moment when we're coaching, but in practice, every phase of practice is designed to grow the decision-making ability of the players, understanding pressure, understanding shape, space, angles, distance, the different moments in the game. We want that to be a collective. We're talking a lot about a collective cognition, right? So the whole thing should operate together. Individuals should flourish within that. You should see a lot of character and individual players that are encouraged to be the best version of themselves, but it should all operate within this collective cognition.
The season gets going less than a week away. First game, exhibition against Arizona here at home. You play a lot of home games. Grand Canyon, a big opponent. Looking forward, 1:00 game. A lot of attention on that one. I think a senior day also celebration. And then looking further into the schedule, heading up to Stanford to play probably a top 10 team at that time, and a big name in them. And the Big West as a whole is kind of changing and morphing. Still the goal, trying to win the Big West, reach the next level and succeed there. So talk about the schedule that you put together and what's exciting, what fans can look forward to here and on the road games, and what you kind of see the outlook as.
PJ is in charge of scheduling. The only thing that we talk about before he goes and sets the details is we want to find the most competitive schedule that we can. Obviously, there's constraints of some budget constraints on how many times we can fly around the country, but we go out and we're ready to play anyone. Arizona being the first game, they've been a really good partner for us in terms of these early season games. We went there last year. They're coming back, and we're heading out there next year as well. They're an excellent opponent. They're very cognitive. They're going to be a real challenge to win the ball back off. They keep it really, really well. So we're excited about that one. And then we go straight into Utah Tech. We've never played before. They're coming here, and that will be a brand new opponent, which brings its own challenges. We have an exhibition against Concordia a few days after that, which will help us try some ideas. We knew with all these new players, we'd need a game like that to help experiment just a little bit. From there, where do we go after that? Grand Canyon are coming here.
Well, that's after the big trip.
That's the big Stanford.
State.
Yeah, like I would overlook Stanford. Again, a good partner. They've been gracious enough to host us and return, which is nice. Not all the big teams are prepared to do that. They have. We're really appreciative for that. I like to think it's been a really good game for them as well. We bring a different challenge to their team. We've always been a good game for them, I think. We've not yet got on the winning side of it, but we've threatened a few times. We were talking this morning. One of our players was remembering a moment where she felt we should have had a PK. 1-0 down, we should have had a PK. We didn't get it, and they went up the other end and scored. So we went from a 1-0 possible penalty to tie it, to going 2-0 down. So that's how close those games have been, and we have to be super organised. But they're a fantastic team. They're a lot of stability in their coaching staff as well. So we're going to know a little bit more about what they're going to try and do. But that's an exciting game. And then you mentioned we'll come back and we have Grand Canyon here.
Grand Canyon.
Senior day and all the bells and whistles. Another great game for us a year ago. That was our opener. Mm-hmm. We got off to a really fast start. And then we shot ourselves in the foot just before halftime. Our players will remember that halftime really well. I think it's fair to say I was quite animated in that halftime, and we came out and we got back on track and got us off to a good start. So yeah, Grand Canyon, another really, really good opponent for us.
And then leading into the Big West Conference, obviously, that's always the goal, is to be the best out of those teams, set yourself up for the postseason, get to that championship. And new faces, obviously, 3 new schools coming in, 2 leaving. That obviously presents its own challenges, but I think the main goal is to take that game at a time, win each of those games, and set yourself up for success. So I don't know if there's any thoughts you had on the Big West.
There's a lot of conversations around this, the conference realignments and everything else. We try not to get distracted by that. The Big West Conference, the Women's Soccer Conference, for many, many years has been extremely competitive. Top to bottom, exceptional coaching, exceptionally well-organized teams, top to bottom. Different styles. You have to face different styles of opponents for sure. But playing the Big West Conference is not easy. People know that. They come from out of state and come up against Big West teams, and everyone's very complimentary about how competitive it is. So the goal is finish in the top 6, go to the playoff, and then from there is your doorway into the NCAA tournament. And yeah, that's the plan again. We're gonna have a few. I used to be the young guy. I used to be the new guy, right? But back when we first started working together, I was the new guy. No one had ever, heard. I didn't have much of a record way back then. You were probably the same way. But you've seen it, and now I've been here 20 years. I think there's probably 4 of us that have been at our programs around that time. Coach Stumpf more than the rest of us, but then Mauricio and Damien at Fullerton and Long Beach, we've all been tenured around the same amount of time. So we all know each other very, very well. But now we've got to deal with these new teams with new styles and new ways of doing things and new coaches. We're aware of all these people. We can kind of see what their records and styles have been at other places. But that's going to keep it really fun. I think the conference is going to be really fun this year. It's going to be really fun. All the different matchups are going to be fascinating to watch. So excited for it.
Diving into the stats a little bit, the all-time winningest coach, Scott Juniper, in UC Irvine history with 184 wins. I don't know if you had the number down pat. All the other coaches here in Anteater history, 190 combined, which is interesting to think that you could become over half of UC Irvine's wins just under your name alone. That's a testament to the 20 years as an Anteater. And even on the tail of that, we mentioned PJ and Danielle, assistant coaches for, I think, 13 years now. Mm-hmm. Each of them have 100 wins as an Anteater on the coaching staff as an assistant. So, the continuity and the winning that comes with the program, it adds up over time.
Yeah. It's hard to get one win in college soccer. Very hard. The work that goes into every single win. I've had the good fortune of being supported here over 20 years. 3 different athletic directors have shown trust in me to keep leading the program forward. So yeah, over time I guess you build up to those numbers. PJ and Danielle, I knew they'd been here a long time. 100 wins with those guys. That's amazing. I wish I'd have known that before Danielle left. We could have celebrated that, but she's not too far. Huge accomplishment. Interestingly, I would point out that for PJ at least, there's one of those wins. He was the head coach. Okay. I had a bike accident. I was in the hospital waiting for surgery on my collarbone, and PJ was the head coach for that one game against LMU. So little asterisks on that stat. He's got 1 win as a head coach, and he'll remind you that he's got the highest win percentage of any head coach here at 100%.
Thank you, Anteater fans, for joining us here. Season preview for the 2026 season. Hope to see you out at Anteater Stadium for UC Irvine Women's Soccer.